Nobody was talking about Johan Manzambi before this game. Nobody. He was not on the team sheet when the match kicked off. He was not the name on the billboards outside SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. He was not the player the cameras were following during warm-ups, not the face in the pre-match interviews, not the man the pundits were previewing when they broke down Switzerland's attacking threat. He was sitting on the bench, a 20-year-old from Freiburg, Germany, watching his teammates struggle, watching them stutter, watching them go absolutely nowhere for 73 long, painful, exhausting minutes against a Bosnia and Herzegovina side that had come to Los Angeles with a plan and was executing it to perfection. Let me give you the full picture, because you need to understand just how dead this game was before Manzambi touched it. Switzerland, the top seed in Group B, a squad packed with Bundesliga talent, a team built on tactical discipline and European pedigree, had an expected goals figure of 0.24 at the 70-minute mark, not 2.4, 0.24. From 5 attempts across 70 minutes of football. That is not a team that is winning a World Cup match. That is a team that is sleepwalking. That is a team that is being completely and ruthlessly suffocated by an opponent who came in with a defensive game plan and refused, absolutely refused, to let Switzerland breathe. Bosnia were extraordinary in those 73 minutes, compact, disciplined, aggressive without the ball, and intelligent with it. Every Swiss combination was tracked, pressed, and shut down before it could develop into anything dangerous. Edin Dzeko, the legendary Bosnian captain, a man with over 400 career goals to his name, was holding the ball up, bringing teammates into play, giving Bosnia something to build from. The Bosnian supporters inside SoFi Stadium were roaring every time he touched the ball. The energy in that building belonged to Bosnia. The momentum belonged to Bosnia. And for 3/4 of a football match, it looked like they were going to make it count. And then Murat Yakin made his move. 71st minute, 2 names go up on the substitution board, Rubén Vargas and Johan Manzambi. The crowd does not react the way they react for a big-name sub. There is no roar of recognition because Manzambi, despite his obvious quality at club level with Freiburg, is not yet a household name at international level. He has not done this before, not on this stage. Not with this much on the line. He pulls on his bib, jogs to the touchline, gets his final instructions from Yakin, and steps onto a World Cup pitch for the very first time in his life. 2 minutes, 46 seconds. That is all the time Johan Manzambi needed. He steps onto that pitch. 70,000 people packed inside SoFi Stadium. The pressure, the occasion, the weight of a match that Switzerland was failing to win. All of it sitting right on his shoulders the moment his boots touch the grass. Most players need time to settle when they come off the bench at this level. Most players take 5-10 minutes to get their touch, find their rhythm, read the game around them. That is completely normal. That is human. But Manzambi operates on a different clock. He gets the ball inside the box, takes 1 touch to set himself, and absolutely crashes a volley into the net. Clean, perfect, technically flawless, the kind of finish you spend hours on the training ground working toward and still cannot guarantee when the moment actually arrives. Vasil does not move. Nobody in that stadium moves. There is a half-second of total silence, that beautiful, disbelieving silence that only happens when something truly shocking has just occurred. And then SoFi Stadium absolutely detonates. The Wembley Ansended, the Swiss bench is off their seats. Yakin punches the air. Switzerland's players sprint toward Manzambi, the kid who just walked off the bench and did in under 3 minutes what their entire starting 11 could not do in over an hour. And on the Bosnia side, you can physically see the confidence drain. The defensive shape that had been immaculate all match suddenly has cracks, players looking at each other, that horrible feeling of having done everything right for 73 minutes and having it taken away in a single moment by a player you barely had time to register had even come on. Bosnia were rattled, and Switzerland, smelling blood for the first time all afternoon, pushed forward. Breel Embolo, the powerful Swiss striker who had struggled to get into the game all match, got the ball in space and ran. He put his head down and he ran at the Bosnian defense with pace and purpose. And Bosnian defender Tarik Muharemović, who had been one of the best players on the pitch all evening, one of the primary architects of that 73-minute defensive masterclass, had to make a decision he would regret for a long time. Last man, Embolo, bearing down on goal. He reaches out and catches him from behind. Straight red card. Bosnia down to 10 men. 12 minutes still to play. What a straight red card does to a team psychologically cannot be overstated. It is not just -1 player. It is the collapse of everything you built. The shape is gone. The game plan is gone. The belief that you could hold this, that belief starts to crack the second that card comes out of the referee's pocket. The Bosnian defensive fortress that had stood for 73 minutes fell apart almost immediately. The gaps appeared everywhere at once. And Switzerland had 2 fresh substitutes on the pitch, with legs, energy, and absolutely nothing to fear. 84th minute, Embolo drives to the byline and pulls it back. Rubén Vargas, the other sub from the 71st, arrives into the box and finishes cleanly. 2-0. The 2 substitutes Yakin brought on together have now combined for both goals. Then, the 90th minute, Vargas returns the favor, pulling back from the byline, and arriving into the box with his second chance of the night is Manzambi. No hesitation, no nerves. He side-foots it cleanly into the net, his second goal of the match, a brace, on his World Cup debut in under 20 minutes of football. And in between all of this, in the middle of a match that was unraveling completely, Bosnia managed one moment of genuine brilliance. Substitute Ermin Mahmic struck a stunning volley past Gregor Kobel to make it 3-1, a consolation in terms of the result, but struck with the kind of ferocity and quality that reminded everyone watching that this Bosnian squad is not without talent. They went down swinging. They always were going to. But the last word belonged to Switzerland. 97th minute, penalty. Granit Xhaka, Swiss captain, ice in his veins, steps up and rolls it into the corner. 4-1, full time. A result that looked impossible at the 70-minute mark. A result built almost entirely on one substitution, one red card, and one 20-year-old who treated a World Cup debut like it was just another Tuesday evening in the Bundesliga. Switzerland go top of Group B with 4 points. The scoreline reads 4-1. And the name everyone is searching for after full time. The name lighting up every studio, every highlight reel, every social media feed from Los Angeles to Zurich to Sarajevo is not Xhaka, it is not Embolo, it is Johan Manzambi, the kid nobody was previewing before kickoff. The kid sitting on the bench while Switzerland went nowhere for 73 minutes. The kid who stepped onto a World Cup pitch for the first time in his life and scored within 2 minutes and 46 seconds. The kid who then went back and scored again because once was apparently not enough to make his point. There are players who spend entire careers waiting for a moment like the one Johan Manzambi had tonight. Some never get it. Some get it and freeze. Manzambi got it and scored twice in 20 minutes at 20 years old on the grandest stage in world football. And when the full-time whistle blew and Switzerland celebrated and Bosnia reflected on what had just happened to them, there was one name on everybody's lips. Remember that name.